Alright, here we go. Let's see, is Twitch gonna... It is gonna get the ads out of the way, good. Alright, welcome everyone. We're gonna have a water show match between Lewis and TaToH on the new water balance. And welcome in, hello Pandu over on YouTube. How you doing? I just finished going live announcements. And we should be getting started here fairly shortly. There we go, copy and paste the link and we're good. Alright, hello Nora, and hello Nico. We're looking forward to these new water changes. I have not seen much of them before. Hello Spawn over on Twitch. The only thing I've seen is the rope animation for the Hulk, which to me felt kind of weird. Let me show that off real quick. It seemed like it didn't fit in. I don't know how to describe it. I think we got a couple minutes before we start, so let me launch the game. I was also supposed to be given a special version of Capture Age, but I haven't gotten that in time for the show match. So I don't know if there's anyone on Capture Age who can hook me up with that real quick if you're around here. I don't know if the normal one will work. Maybe it won't. I'll see what's happening, though. Maybe I should ping someone, although... The person I normally would ping got laid off, so I don't actually know where to send a ping. Let's see. Let's show off the water. Let's show off the water while we have a minute. Hello, 11. Transition. There we are. All right, it's water time. Maybe I should turn some sound on for this. Remind me to turn that off before I start casting, so we don't have double sound. All right. All right, let's place some water. Let's place some water. And just so we don't get defeated, we'll place some cataphracts down there. Lovely. Player 2 can get... Yeah, let's be yellow so that we show up on the water a bit better. Oh, that's player 2. Player 1 can be yellow. Right. Where are we? The Hulk. And 11, thank you very much for the sub. Yeah, I got your water creatures ready. The Hippias. Okay, that guy's cute. The Hoplite. Okay, whatever. We're looking for the Hulk. H-U-L-K, the Hulk. Let's do a couple Hulks against a couple of Fire Galleys. Now, this is what I noticed that the AI does. The AI, like, micros the Fire Galleys. It's all heck. Don't forget to add a water hill. No water hills. Oh no, cataphracts. Yeah, look at this. These ropes. Something just seems kind of silly about the ropes. I don't know. Oh gosh, chat, I need to restart the stream real quick. I'm streaming at too high of a bit rate. I need to, hold on. So let me restart this. Okay, we're back. Hopefully it's not, dying anymore. Okay, we're good. Oof. Sorry about that. Hopefully we're all good on YouTube too. Hello, Evil Cherry, and hello, DHA Valhalla. Yeah, you know, some lag. That's because I was streaming at way too high of a bitrate. When I stream only on Twitch, I can stream at 1440p, but Twitch like auto manages that at a bitrate of 20,000. When I stream on Twitch and on YouTube, I can't sustain the same quality on both, so I have to lower the bitrate. But I forgot to change my OBS profile. Now we're good. Let me restart this. If you type something on YouTube if we're good, type something on Twitch if we're good on both of them, and then we know that I'm back live. Where are the other new ships? Oh, we're doing them one at a time. One at a time. Alright, so this is... I don't know, like these ropes. Something about them feels like the 2D sprite's not up to the same quality as the rest of the graphics. It's like that Asian maple, or the Asian pine tree or whatever it is. We're good? Okay, we're good. I don't know. But... Also, the AI now is insane with this Fire Galley micro. Like, look at this, it's gonna... that's just the scouting one, though. I noticed this. My immobile units AI didn't actually make them stop. Right, like they're gonna move forward. Wait, these aren't doing it. Wait, why are you standing still when my immobile units AI made you run away? Okay. I'll have to investigate that. It's probably just a weird AI thing. But yeah, you have ropes now. The new water thing is not live, but if you're you can sign up as a caster in the Thalassocracy Cup Discord if you want to have access to it. Let's what if we upgrade? Do like Imperial Age. See what the Castle Age ships look like. Yeah, these guys, the boarding ship. Oh, look how speedy they are. What the heck? This guy is fast. This guy must have put barrels on his ship to catch the wind and sail around Staten Island in 23 minutes or 23 hours. That AI is not working in scenarios. Okay, yeah, because they were quite buggy when I tried to see them myself. Oh look, the bug. I'll need to restart the game. This still happens, chat. This still happens. The pictures disappear. This happens all the time when I'm testing stuff in the editors. It's been happening for years. I've reported it so many times. They've never fixed it. Okay, let's check maybe the post-Imperial Age ships now. Let's see what they look like. I'm mostly just interested in what they look like. Fires are the same, I guess. So these things are supposed to counter fires. But they're so fast, they can kind of catch galleys much better than fires could, even. Look how speedy they are. You might make one of these to scout. Oh, what the heck? Oh, wait, you, like, the things fall in the water? Oh, the projectiles fall in the water. And then they sink down. That's cute. Hey, look at him go, sinking down. Okay, that's cute. Yeah. Head's itchy from the headphones. Taking away the speed boost from dry dock. It's literally putting the ships out of water to scrape barnacles off so they go faster. Alright, well, anyway. We're going to see these ships in action a bit more today. I've not actually seen any gameplay on this myself yet. I know that Lewis and TaToH had played a show match on it. But this will be my first dip into the water, getting thrown into the deep end. Not just dipping our toes into it. Thrown into the deep end, casting a set. Fire ships in the patch are also faster than galleys. Okay. Does it slow down the enemy ships? It should. It doesn't. Although that could be an interesting idea. Now, not stopping. Okay, good. We're all good. Perfect. Good on Twitch, good on YouTube. There are so many buttons I gotta click whenever I start a stream. I need to open Steam, open AoE 2, open OBS, open Reaper, start 2 bots, open Discord, open Firefox, and open Chrome. And I need 2 browsers because my ad block doesn't work in Chrome, and the dashboard doesn't work properly in Firefox when I try to queue for a game. So this is the Thalassocracy Showmatch, TaToH versus Lewis, in preparation for the Thalassocracy Cup coming up at the end of November. To convert that while converting makes the target unable to move. Ooh. What? You know what I was thinking about? I would not make this change. Let me just be clear. I'm not suggesting this. I don't think it would be a good change at this point. But if you were to design your own strategy game again, I think it would be a good idea that if you delete a unit that is being converted, it would instead be an insta conversion. Or you just disable the delete functionality while something's being converted. And you know, maybe monks have been nerfed so much. Maybe that's a good idea now. I shouldn't say that. No more changes. But yeah, we're just gonna look for the players to get a civ draft started. And what civs are they gonna pick? I have no idea after all the changes that have been made. Vikings now get fires, but don't get the Hulk, which feels weird. Demos are a lot weaker than they used to be. What's the map pool for this play, all 5? It is all the maps from the Thalassocracy Showmatch, I believe. There's a draft preset. Let me grab that real quick, and then I can show that off. Oh, you know what? TaToH's already hosting the drafts. I can head over to that, and we'll see. You're wondering what Aquarina is? Then let me just change my overlay. Let's see. I don't think I have room for the webcam on the scene, but I'll just put the drafts up. Here we go. Position. Boom. So Aquarina for TaToH, Immersion for Lewis. So if you want to see Aquarina, it's there. Oh yeah, Bazzi, you're here. Do you know who at Capture Age is responsible for giving me the ability to use the special capture age for the Thalassocracy Cup. So I messaged the organizer for this, and he said he messaged the capture age team, but the guy responsible for it wasn't around. And apparently there's a special capture age for this. I don't know if you know anything about that. But I remember that the guy I used to ping is no longer at capture age, so I'm not sure who to ping. Maybe I should just message Sarah. I don't know who's in office on Wednesdays. They did send me a link, yes. Oh, do I have access now? I tried this earlier this morning. Let me just double click it again. Maybe it'll open now. Yeah, this is what I get when I open it. It says my account has not been configured to use this application. And it's really small because I have a 4K monitor. But maybe I should log out and log in again. Let me try it again, maybe. Let me just try maybe if I log in as T West instead of... Okay, check my email again. Login link for T West. Yeah, okay, yeah, I logged in again and I still got the same thing. Okay, I can send you any information if you need to debug. Alright, but Golden Swamp will be the first map. Home maps then will be Aquarina and Shoals for TaToH, and Immersion and Kumir for Lewis. So Lewis going for what I assume are more hybrid maps, and TaToH for more pure water maps. Wouldn't it be nice to have a civ that can build a water fortress or towers? Positive, negative, man? I mean, who knows if they're overhauling it? Maybe. There are mods out there. Why are there no S East? That's a good question. Hulks beat everything, this needs to be fixed. That's what I've heard right now. I've heard that Hulks beat Galleys right now because of how fast they are. Why does it need a new ship type after 20 years? That is a good question too. That is a good question too. Oh, Bozzy. Bozzy doing work. Everyone gives some love and some flowers for Bozzy. It makes the best maps. Game needs bridges, buildable bridges. I kind of like the ability to use bridges on random map scripts because you need to be really clever and hacky in the map scripts to get them working. And that makes it fun. So we'll have the Wu, Italians, Vikings starting off the draft for TaToH, Persians, Japanese, Malay for Lewis, and then the Chinese. Interesting. You usually don't see the Chinese picked very highly for water maps, or at least you didn't in the past. but if you figure out their start, and remember, their start is much easier. You have the force drop hotkey, you don't need houses, your TC has a lot more line of sight, and all of your starting animals are much closer underneath the TC, so it's much smoother than it was in AOC. It makes the Chinese overall a much stronger civ. And there are the Koreans for TaToH. I know there's the Realms mod where you can do walls. Oh, Bazi is on it. Yes. Everyone, give Bazi lots of hearts. All the hearts in the world. And Sicilians there for TaToH, Portuguese for Lewis. Mongols also for Lewis. So Mongols could be played on Shoals because of all the hunt you have. You usually don't see them picked because sometimes you see them picked, but they play them very differently than you do Italians or Byzantines. And actually, Byzantines, not admin banned, not picked. Kind of surprising not to see Byzantines picked in a hybrid water map situation. Even stuff like Sicilians or Celts picked above them. But maybe players are now wary of the fire galleys with the hulks. As he says to try again. All right. Chat, fingers crossed. And oh, looks like it worked. Looks like it worked. I guess we'll need a game played actually to test it properly, but looks like it worked so far. So let's just hold on. Let's just give a heart for Bazi for taking care of Capture Age Force. And let me just double check my Capture Age scene real quick in OBS. Hopefully it has my same settings. DE crashed. I need to restart that anyway. Oh, and it's the Thalassocracy version, so I just need to copy my Capture Age scene in OBS. Right now, add a new window capture. Don't capture the cursor. Okay. All right, in chat, you can double check this for me. Do we see Capture Age and it says Thalassocracy? We're blocking the Thalassocracy here, but we're good. Everyone, thanks to Bazi. Thank you, Bazi. Alright, we're good to go then. And they're in their lobby, so we're getting started soon. Greetings, Matt O, sending AoE vibes from Germany. Well, thanks for being here. Fires are useless now. Anything except hulks and unique ships are useless. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe we need those fortress building ships that Positive Negative wanted, so we could counter the hulks. Demo changes are such a big nerf for TaToH. How will we ever recover? I know. It's sad. Sad to see the demo changes. No Bog Islands. It is in the map pool, but no Bog Islands today. If you're a fan of Bog Islands, I'm sure we'll see it during the event itself. I don't know if I have special pro access to Capture Age for this one. Anyone who's casting should have access to it just for this event, so we'll see what that does. New tournament? Don't tell me. No, it is hosted by I actually don't know the guy's name because it is AO A-E-I-O-U Swallow. Let's call him Swallow. Hosted by Swallow. Ah, okay. Ooh. Bazzi, the tournament host Swallow, just messaged me and said that Daniela and Memb need help too. So yeah, if Bazzi's still around, he can spread the love to help more people. That would be lovely. Bazzi will take care of everyone, I believe. And hello, D68. How are you doing? What's it feel like to have your number 68 now sandwiched right between two memes? I've been seeing 67 be a meme now as well these days. Apparently all the school children yell at their teachers. Aquarina looks rad. I haven't actually played it that much, but it is in DE right now. You threaded the needle by picking a safe number. Oh, and we're starting. I see DE moving over. They banned Seychelles. That was very pretty for what was it? LY. Of a coincidence and on purpose. Doubt blessed you with good luck then. Didn't invent ASCII. I'll need to finish the some map scripting YouTube videos because the number 69 is actually very important to map scripts. Love the classic soundtrack evolution. I do too, and thank you very much for the follow. You're also follower number 13,994. I'm close to a round number. All right, so here we are into the Thalassocracy Cup. Do we need a tutorial on Capture Age? I think we know how this works. I might need to change my settings a bit. Because this is a new version of Capture Age, and you just saw me install it with Bazzi right before. And so welcome to Golden Swamp. Excuse me for a moment as I get this set up. We'll enable the scoreboard to play all 5. This is the Thalassocracy and Showmatch. This has the new water balance. Can we use some flags? Let's use some flags. He is from the United Kingdom, and TaToH, he is from Spain. Boom. Can I view the Civ stuff then if I do that? Yes I can. Perfect. Alright, we got some flags on the scoreboard even. Alright, and how's the audio? How's the audio? I literally didn't put my headphones on. When I change the scene, let me know how the audio levels are. I think I gotta adjust that a bit too, maybe. Graphics, ooh, enable enhanced graphics. Enable graphics mod so the trees are small. Stuff like that, sure. Oh, that has to go all the way down. No GPU usage, otherwise we're gonna crash. Anti-aliasing, sure. Bloom, no. This looks good. Sound, I'm hearing the animals. Let's maybe lower that. Lower that a bit. Chat event. Play the taunts, sure. Unit train, none. None, all, and all. Actually, no, none. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good now. My voice a bit loud compared to the game. That will even itself out as more stuff happens in the game. That's a hard thing to balance because at the beginning of the game, the Dark Age is much quieter than later on when there are battles going on everywhere. So that'll if it's a tiny bit quiet now, then I think we're perfect. Audio is good. All right. Game may be slightly too loud. Yes, all right, now good. Perfect. Right. Yeah, so just new version of Capture Age that works with the beta mod. I literally just had access to it 5 minutes ago, and I had to get my settings set up. Oh yeah, also this is a thing, right? We can get selections and see the range of the hunters as they overlap. That's cool. I don't know how useful that actually is. So used to watching Hyper Random, your first instinct is to check how much food is on the Rhino. A very standard 400 food, and a very standard 225 food on all of these tuna fish. So this is Golden Swamp, essentially a map that's kind of based on the map Cup that was from the old Hidden Cup tournaments. That was a bit different because there were 2 ponds. Here there's only 1. Little splashes of water inside of the mangrove shallows, and in the middle there are some gold tiles and a relic. Relic definitely biased towards TaToH. A couple of relics down here. I'm gonna feel weird having Lewis in red and TaToH in blue. Chat, will you mind if I change this and put Lewis in blue and TaToH in red? That's gonna feel more natural to me. The players, I usually see them in these colors. TaToH in red feels better. Yeah, TaToH in red. Yeah, Lewis in blue, TaToH in red. I feel like this is the way to go. Whenever I see Lewis playing, I feel like he's blue. Anyway, so Lewis will be the blue Persians, TaToH the red Wu, and Persians for a hybrid map. Now, in the current patch, you would go up to feudal and then make fire galleys, or you would make galleys. Galleys would be a more long-term approach to try to get 5 to 6 galleys in fletching and then out-micro the fires. Fire galleys would be, you'd even maybe go for a forward dock to get as close to your opponent as possible, go fires, and prevent them from having time to make the galleys. Now, though, I think both players are just going to be making hulks. So the hulk will shoot ropes and act as a boarding ship to try to attack the enemy and... Oh, one more thing I gotta press. Where are we? Use minimal UI. Yes. Let's turn the range zones off. I think those are not that great. Okay, there we go. Now, guilds won't have circles. Perfect. And now we'll have a barracks in the middle from TaToH. A barracks from TaToH is the Wu. Jin Swordsman will be in the Castle Age. But he can make spears, and this is our first question, chat. Do spears still get attack bonuses against ships? Now look at the armor classes. Their fishing ships are ships and fishing ships right now. They have melee and pierce armor. TaToH will be going for a forward dock by the looks of it. He's mining gold in the middle and making some militia already. Okay. It's gonna have to be hulks. Right now, hulks from Lewis. Now, I know Lewis played a few matches against TaToH the other week, and he's probably very familiar with the water balance. TaToH, though, for many years has been, if not the best, at least one of the best players on water maps. He was that Master of Island tournament back in AOC, the one where T90 built the 3 archery ranges on a neutral island. I remember watching TaToH in the finals against Fire on that map. So here's the Hulk. The Hulk has 5 melee attack and 0 ship attack. Okay. And we're going to have to keep a close eye on these armor classes. So 4 melee armor, 1 pierce armor, 0 ship armor. And... oh, it doesn't have the ropes in Capture Age. Oh, in-game there are ropes. This is silly. In Capture Age, it's just shooting the head of the ropes without the ropes. This is amazing. Hold on, wait. I gotta tab to the actual game then to show you what this actually looks like. There are ropes on the ships. Hold on. It's gonna take a second to load. Yeah, there are ropes on the ships. See that? Ropes attacking the dock. That's what it's supposed to look like with some ropes. All right, so Capture Age. Let's see. Do I have the volume off? I do. Okay, no, I'm not gonna have double audio. Who needs ropes? Bozzy's got some bugs he has to go fix, man. Bozzy's a busy man. Has to give everyone access to Capture Age. Has to fix the ropes. That's probably someone else, though. This is amazing. Just like, you're launching anchors as an attack. If you wanted a fantasy boat, that would be a fantasy right there. And we're happy with the random projectiles and the weird-looking ropes. Maybe. So TaToH will be amassing his own hulks. The ropes are made of fishing lines. Did anyone ever play? This is one of my favorite RTS. Oh wait, yeah, the militia from TaToH. We're looking at the ropes. He is doing men at arms. He is doing arson. He's trying to attack TaToH on, trying to attack Lewis on land. And Lewis will be making an archery range. Can get out some archers to defend against this. TaToH now making hulks from all of his docks, coming out and attacking Lewis's hulks. And from what I've heard these days, it is hulks and nothing else. At least that's what chat's been telling me. That hulks destroy fires, but they're so speedy that they also destroy galleys. Shouldn't he be making galleys to counter? Well, maybe. I actually feel like if they're going to go with this idea where the Hulk is a boarding ship, then the Hulk should be a counter to galleys, and then the galleys should counter fires, and fires should counter the Hulk. Like the fast and nimble ship catches up to the galleys beat the fires because they're a bit slower, and then the fires beat the Hulk because they shoot fire at them. Wait until I see forging. Oh my gosh, you're right. The hulks. So usually you're thinking about, okay, I want to make galleys, and then, oh wait. The TaToH mispresses hockey. He's making a fire. And then you think you want to do the blacksmith to upgrade fletching for the galleys. The hulks now will benefit from forging, so the melee attack upgrade at the blacksmith will affect the hulks, who, as we saw, do melee damage. I guess the chat kind of covers that, but they do melee damage. So I need to, hold on, I need to change notifications. I don't need attack notifications. There's no Diplo. I don't think there are any kings. Chat's tribute. Okay, that's better. Reversing the water triangle might like things better. It's not like they're thinking small. I think it makes more sense for the boarding ship thing. Because I feel like if you're gonna get the way like fires and demos work is that the demos counter fires because the fires are such short range that they can't shoot the demos. And then fire versus galley, like fires don't even really counter galleys. It's just when they are forced to be in close range, the fires win. If you have room to micro the galleys still win against the fires. So maybe reversing it and you have a speedy boarding ship to catch galleys might make sense. We'd appreciate if you can take notes on the bugs I see. All right, I will send you a list when we're done. The ropes are the one I've seen so far. Do you want like just capture age specific things or any like in-game stuff too? I guess I can send you both, but you're probably more interested in the capture age ones. Ropes, and I guess it would probably be helpful to have maybe a renaming of the ship armor classes. The double building armor classes has always been something that's confusing. Maybe it'd be a good time to kind of address that a bit. But I'll add that to a list. I was thinking about how melee pierce makes the current direction awkward. So many years ago, as TaToH has now won the water, Lewis kind of took his foot off the gas in Hulk production thanks to those men-at-arms that got into his eco. And now he will be the one sneaking around with archers to try to get into TaToH's base, but TaToH's walled for the most part. Years ago, if you remember the Mangrove Shallows Cup that Mem posted, I made the maps for that, and we attempted to rebalance it so that ships versus land units were closer. And I have like huge spreadsheets of armor classes and melee and pierce and ship damage, where I tried to get that working. Okay, this is where Lewis might try to dive the TC, but TaToH has enough vills. Not going to be able to do that for the moment. Bamboo on that market is huge. I never realized that. Thought there was a tree there for a second. Was it always that huge? That feels weirdly huge. Yeah, just Cade 1's west can go to Effie. Alright. So, fires here taking out the dock. Rope's not appearing. And there's Lewis up to the castle age. Lots of repairs on the Hulk. 2 vills repairing. Oh gosh, those vills getting mauled by those things. And medium warships. Medium warships. Problem is, Lewis put it in this dock. Let's see, the docks. They do have the attack of the garrisoned ships. I guess it is a bit weird that only fishing ships shoot from docks and not garrisoned warships. Makes it so, you know, camping in the docks and not unleashing your warships still is a thing, but not as strong as it potentially would be. It's not like camping units in a TC. Hulk in front and fires behind is interesting. So this is something we'll have to pay attention to, because remember, the fire galleys have that 0% accuracy. Doesn't even show it here, but 0% accuracy. So their fire hits whatever the first enemy target is that it encounters. The Hulks, I don't think they work the same way. I think they have an actual projectile. So yeah, putting the Hulks in front and fires in the back. Maybe fires have a bit more DPS, but the Hulks are less fragile to other Hulks. So that's an interesting strategy. You'd think maybe Hulks in front and galleys in the back against Hulks could be what we see, but no, now we have these these war Hulks, and they are tearing TaToH apart. TaToH's feudal military is getting shredded by these war Hulks hulking about. Everything goes down. There you go. 1.5 speed, so the fastest ship. Oh my gosh, TaToH, he's making a demo. He's making a demo. Will this be useful for him? Oh my gosh, we're gonna see a demo. He needs medium. Wait, the demos get their own upgrade line, right? Yeah, he's making Jin swordsmen. His tiger's chasing them. He's going after the archers. Trying to stay off the water. Harbors is still better. Yeah, I don't think they've changed. There was nothing in the patch notes against the Malay harbors. So those still will shoot arrows themselves. I guess one thing to pay attention to is, do they shoot even more arrows with fishing ships garrisoned? Which they might. Medium warships for TaToH. Don't demos have their own upgrade line now? And then they won't be affected by the medium warship. So we have Galleon, Carrack, Fast Fire, Heavy Demo. Carvel Hall. It's the dry dock replacement. Dry docks for Pierce Armor. Oh, that was so puny. Yeah, he upgraded medium warships, but it didn't upgrade the demo. Because it's a separate thing now. Hulks benefit from cavalry armor upgrades. I mean, they benefit from cav attack upgrades, right? We're almost there. Teutons of the water, the Malay harbor can have 10 fishing ships in them. Okay. Hey, yeah, Teutons of the water indeed. So here are some more demos and more feudal age hulks from TaToH. Monks here should be pretty good. Here's another demo, still not doing all that much damage. The short range of the hulks, right? They have one range. Should make them, like fires, vulnerable to monks. Fires actually have more range. That's interesting. Fires have more range than the hulks, so yeah, hulks in front, fires behind could work. And the hulks are going to make a shield to protect the monk from the fire as it gets converted. When they bring Poseidon to AoE 2. In my experience in Age of Mythology, Poseidon was not a good civ, god, race, whatever to use for the water. Yeah, they're already nerfed by not sharing the upgrade, right? So that's like a double nerf that you're nerfing their stats. Yeah, there must be a lot of extra arrows for the Malay. Maybe we'll see some harbors. I forget the civ joust, though. If they picked Malay, I'd love to see harbors. So TaToH buying wood, buying stone. And yeah, I think we saw there the downside of the demo ships having their separate upgrade line. That you're upgrading the rest of your ships. You're doing a demo in your dock, but you're not getting back on the water by upgrading your ships. You're just kind of losing the demos. So here, again, the strength of monks against ships. Well, I love monks, and maybe the new water patch just managed to change water maps into monk maps again. Maybe all of us arena players who leave the water maps unchecked, hoping that no one plays them and get forced to play them now, will be able to go monks every game. Maybe they're just buffing the monks. So yeah, monks were always something that was useful against fires. Also, in many ways against turtle ships. It was weird, because turtle ships would one-shot the monks, but the turtle ship range was so close. Monks still got conversions. Oh, demo for the monks. Then gets one monk. Oh, what did they do to the demos? The Hulk is extra speedy, but here come the monks. Hulk should be able to run away from monks. Oh, that was an insta on that Gen Swordsman. Yeah, Hulk's shifting colors. I feel like we wouldn't have seen monks like this in Fire Galley Wars as much as they still would have been useful. The Hulk now having even less range. Oh my god, that demo is so pathetic. Oh, what did they do to the poor demos? Maybe what they should do is make demos a Castle Age unit again, and have it start at the demo ship instead of the demo raft. Do docks have a minimum range? Minimum range of 1, it looks like. I'd imagine doing murder holes removes that, but that's a good question. Lewis is doing a university. Maybe he'll research murder holes and answer that question for us. No, he's just doing it to click up to imp. Oh, come on, Lewis. You needed an imp building. I was excited for murder holes. Anyway, he will do a castle at the front. With only hulks and how short their range is, no stopping the castle. That's still the advantage of the galley line. You have more range, so you can hit inland farther. I haven't seen a single galley made, and what chat has been telling me is that galleys are useless because hulks are so fast that they counter galleys. So you'd think it makes sense, but apparently not. And apparently hulks can hit these vills, and yeah, so as I was saying, they are not blocked by buildings like the fire ship projectile is. They can shoot over the building foundations. Fire ships would not be able to do that. Their fire would be absorbed by the first enemy object it encounters. Hulk patrol stacking is... Oh, Hulk patrol stacking, yeah, that sounds pretty strong. It's kind of like Step Lancers, right? It's a melee unit with one attack. It's not an insta attack like the Steppies, but it's going to be hard to dodge from one tile away. Do Hulks benefit from ballistics? That's a question too. Do they benefit from ballistics? So Lewis redocking, trying to get back on the water. The Hulks cannot reach those monks, and that'll let a charge happen for swapping onto the Jin Swordsman. Alright, harbors. Hulks. Still on the water for TaToH. Hulks on the way from Lewis, the War Hulks. I want to see the Imperial Age Hulks now. So there we go, Bloodlines, Careening, Forging, Bloodlines. What is Bloodlines for? That's not going to benefit the Hulks, at least not yet. Adding in some stables, and we'll have Knights and Scouts now, as the Persians. Could make a swap to Cav. One of the things demos were great at was a counter to land units. If demos are weaker, maybe that makes land units stronger. And there is the Heavy Warships upgrade. Heavy Warships. War Hulk on the way, and Castle Drop in the middle from Lewis. And huge score lead for Lewis, and that is, we're watching the water fight. He has a huge villager lead, 110 to 73. And the castle is on its way up. Oh, and there we go, the Carrack. That's what Hulks upgrade to, the Carrack. So speedy. So yeah, 6+1 melee attack. You think Lewis knows he needs to do the attack upgrades at the blacksmith? That's probably slipped his mind completely at this point. Oh, those sails. Those huge sails. Jin Swordsman. Although, probably less effective against the ships that have melee armor. These things don't have attack bonuses against ships. So Lewis dominating the water right here. He's going to take the gold control in the middle. And these ships will all be going down. So TaToH. Now TaToH's hope is to do a good push with the Jin Swordsman. But he's stuck in the Castle Age, and Mangonels will not be effective against all the HP that these Persian TCs have. Jin Swordsman raids, perhaps. But enough monks out to defend against this, along with some light cav. Makes it feel like Lewis is in a really good position right here. He's getting eaten a bit by the Jin Swordsman, but he has enough room over here he can start leaking out, get more farms out. At least for TaToH, there's no gold out there, but Lewis has the gold control in the middle. So I think Lewis is A-okay. Even gonna take out the relic that TaToH has. TaToH trying to do devotion, trying to be devoted. Bill's poking down these Jin Swordsmen. Is leading on relics. He is up 2-1 on relics. Does have 2 at home. TaToH did not pick up the 2 relics he has on his side of the map. And the light cav here all will go down. A seahorse-drawn carriage, a seahorse-drawn carrack. Now, what are these things? Now that you mentioned it, the carracks do not have a minimum range. Which, I mean, if the range is 1, I guess they can't. That's something else to consider there. So Hulk, War Hulk, Carrack. Range 1, minimum range 0.5. Hey, fire ships do have 2.5 range. It used to be 2.49, but I think they actually changed it to 2.5. Now that they can display stats properly. So Jin Swordsman continuing to push. Lewis fighting. He needs Cavalier, though. He did lose a TC. And really does need Cavalier before fighting. Really could use the attack upgrades, too. And does TaToH have enough Jin Swordsman to win this fight? And TaToH's falling farther and farther behind in score, but right now Lewis is still defending at home. Maybe his score inflated a bit by water control, but that gold control is going to be great for him. And TaToH... Wait, TaToH also doesn't have TCs because of the trebuchets. So he's being raided. TaToH desperately trying to hold on. There he'll call the GG. There we go. As Lewis kind of stalling out this push now that he has the eco to spam knights. So Jin Swordsman from 4 barracks, not enough for TaToH, a bit too late. And Lewis with the Persian economy wins the Monk War with the Hulks on the water by getting Imp faster and being able to transition afterwards. So, first game, I can't say that felt any better than what it was before. We've basically replaced Fire Galleys with Hulks, and demos are weaker. So for hybrid maps, I don't know if this really makes much of a difference. Yeah, Persian Dock HP, right? He was a great bonus for Lewis. Right, Persian Dock HP, faster working docks. His docks were not destroyed as quickly as TaToH's would have been. Oh. There we go. Oh, well, I closed DE. Didn't mean to do that. And give me a moment. Let me just check the civs and everything off. Alright, looking for them to host the next lobby. And where are we at? Alright, that's a win for Lewis. He will be winning on Golden Swamp. And that will be Persians over Woos. The very first pick for both of them. Demo ships need to properly one-shot them. Maybe that helps. It looks like Aquarina will be the next map. Aquarina, let's go. They're countered by in-game formations. Countered by the split formation. How does that water terrain work? Not deep enough so the soldiers can walk on it, but deep enough to put warships. So the mangrove shallows you can walk on, you can build on, you can sail ships on. Normal shallows you can walk on, you can sail ships on. And then water you can sail ships on. And then there are different types of water. There's normal water. Then there is like medium and deep water. Whenever you build a dock, you need a coastline, so a piece of beach or the icy beach terrain. You then can build docks on any of the water terrains, the shallows, the mangrove shallows, or the shallow water, except for the deep water terrains. So medium and deep water you can't build docks on. You'll notice that in the Vinland Saga scenario. Remember that old Viking scenario from the Battles of the Conquerors? There were places you couldn't actually build the docks. What's the gist with the Kumir map? That was in the LY Cup quite a bit. It's basically a transport map. You start really close to each other on your own islands, but you're so close that you can easily drush, or you go men-at-arms. Alright, so Aquarina will be the next map. They're in the lobby right now. Is it for all buildings or just fortifications? That's something I'll make a note to Bazi that Capture Age could maybe name those armor classes more accurately. I'm pretty sure there's one armor class that applies to all buildings and one that applies to all buildings except wonders. So like one you can use for wonders and another you can't. but I'm not sure which is which, and the way it's labeled in Capture Age, they have the same name, so I need to double check that. I need to go dig into that again. Then there's also like stone defense, and there's also a wall class. I think there's also a castle class. I should do maybe a video on that one day, all the different building classes. Alright, so they have launched, and let's see, Aquarina. There we go. We'll have TaToH playing as the Vikings and Lewis as the Mongols. They're loading in right now. Here we go. And here we are. And once more, TaToH in the red, Lewis in the blue. Actually, here's a question. Can we see blue on top of the water terrain? Is this a good color? Should I put it maybe in the cyan instead? Maybe that's better then. And we'll do Lewis in the cyan and TaToH in the red. How are Mongols on water? So Mongols on water in AOC. Look at those destroyed ships. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. In AOC, Mongols were a very good water civ for the aggressive maps such as Mediterranean, Baltic, even Team Islands. Vikings were still the #1 pick. But after Vikings, you saw 4 options. There were Japanese, Huns, Mongols, and Saracens, which had their strengths and weaknesses depending on the map, or like team game versus 1v1. But Mongols always had their hunt bonus for very, very fast feudal age timing, and you could go galleys immediately, try to win the water, and snowball from there. And it was all about the opening and the spreadsheet of your build order. And in many ways, that's how water maps had been played. Oh, TaToH going for a side dock. I guess there's a fish there. They were about very quick and very well-practiced build orders, being precise with your borers and your deer pushes. And then they became a micro contest, and you often saw them in tournament play because players would pick them because they felt more confident in their galley micro. But with Aquarina, that's, well, probably not what the Mongols are going to do. You feel well secured enough that maybe you can fast castle? I've never seen a really high-level competitive game on this, so I don't know for sure. Oh, here's maybe a little thing. Do these walls have underwater graphics they should have that Capture Age isn't rendering? Oh, no, they don't. I thought they did. The sides do. They used to have, like, underwater graphics, right? Am I just tripping about that? Maybe I am. And a beautiful map. Also, Bozzy made this map. So what is Lewis going to do with the Mongols? I think that's a really good question. What is he going to do with Mongols on Aquarina? Could FC into Warhulk be a play? With how fast he can go up? Mongols will still have... I mean, I talked about them having a fast feudal. They can still have a very fast castle. But then you're running into potential longboats. Now, the Vikings... What is their tech tree now? They have the Hulk... They have the fire ship, but they don't have demos. So TaToH playing a civ without demos, will that matter? Maybe not with how weak they seemed. So fire ship, or fire line, Hulk line, galley line, demo line, and they still have longboats. Also have Carvel hull siphons. Fire ships getting an explosive charge attack. And dry dock. Okay. And there are more university techs too, right? Does Capture Age display the university techs? Is this a university tech? Siphons where it's researched? Not sure, actually. Maybe this could be reorganized then if these are university techs. As Dreaddock is definitely the dock still. It's a uni tech, but I left it in naval. Yeah, that's a good question, right? Because you have a... It very much is a naval tech. But it's kind of a weird thing that defensive is pretty much all university techs, and then one from the TC in Town Watch and Town Patrol. Which kind of, the TC has a mixture of different techs. So maybe hard to categorize it. Naval's probably the right spot there, unless it's going to be completely reorganized. Oh, wait, all naval techs are in the university now? Oh, okay, that explains it then. So if careening and dry dock are in the university, then yeah. Okay. Is this the same icon as the fire ship upgrade icon? That's the same icon, right? Is this supposed to be the same icon? Yeah, that is the same icon. Maybe the tech needs a new icon if that's not it. I want to clutter the uni page. Yeah, I mean, the one that I think is change that is absolutely a good change is that the dock is going to be like, oh my gosh, look at this. The fish that's under the wall. Okay. Maybe that's, maybe the fishing ships need, or the fish need to avoid the wall by a tile to make sure this doesn't happen. That's cute. Some wall fish. Because the fish here is technically underneath the wall. It's a 2x2 object, but the right corner determines where it spawns. So it can't spawn directly on top of the wall, but it can spawn one tile away, and that'll let it be under the wall. That's really cute. Probably shouldn't happen, but I like it. Yeah, here's another one. And I don't think we'll ever see... let me just double click them here. We'll never see it like a fish where the right corner is on top of the wall, because that will avoid the wall. Okay, and same thing down here, right? Oh, no, never mind. I'm wrong about that. They don't avoid the wall at all. Okay, never mind. You can fish over the wall here, too. Yeah, they're jumping higher than the wall anyway. Maybe they're just, instead of using the nets, maybe they're just, like, standing on deck and, like, catching the fish as they fall on them. Yeah, here's a partial wall fish. You need production to write a ticket before I can fix it? Okay. Okay, can I submit a bug report and then get it fixed? There's double bit axe on the way for TaToH. That is really cute, though. I guess you can sail across the beach into here, too. Oh, fish are overlapping. Fish are overlapping a bit. Good luck. That's order of operations and scripting. I actually don't know if the fish would avoid this. Right there. There are lots of different things you could do to make the fish avoid the walls, or the walls avoid the fish, or whatnot. There are lots of different things you could do there. With actor areas, or min distances, or placement order. I don't think I've ever actually made a walled fish map like this. I guess I did make Circle Arena the small map, but that's something I'll now keep in mind when I edit a couple of maps for the next TTL season. Does the careen bonus affect sea towers? That's a good question. We can maybe find out. Remind me I can check that after the game. So another dock. And 3 dock, fast castles for both. The Mongols up a bit faster. And we're seeing fire galleys, so pure fire galleys it is. And I guess that's an attempt to counter longboats? Thinking we're gonna have longboats? How would hulks do against longboats? That's a question too. Siphon icon's more colorful. All right. Oh, Danny, thank you very much for the raid with 69 viewers. What a number. Thank you. Thank you very much for the raid. Welcome, everyone. As you're raiding us into the Castle Age. And Lewis will be shooting some fires at TaToH's walls. Now, here's one of the downsides of having the fires. You can't actually shoot over the walls, but I guess that doesn't matter. That seawall went down right away. No defenses for TaToH. He is amassing hulks and fishing ships and trying to do longboats. Okay, longboats on the way. He's got a couple of hulks. But Lewis is inside of his walls, destroying the sea towers. Okay, these walls provided no protection at all against those fires. And not enough longbows out now. TaToH not in a space where he can micro. The sea tower has a great range. Here's medium warships for the hulks. Oh, he can run out the gate, though. and then shoot from over the wall. Hello, Danny. Sea tower on... Yeah, the sea tower on land. I do love all the pretty destroyed ships around the map. That's cute. I don't know if they have graphics that allow them to be rotated more. I think there's a bit of repetition there, but that'd be cute if they could rotate more. The hybrid tower. Yeah, hybrid tower. Did it used to be regular towers on land? I think it was always sea towers for this map. I think they just spawn, and whether they're land or water. Maybe it's like 2 on the land and 2 on water? Not sure about that, though. Okay, this seawall... I'm clicking the fish, not the wall. There we go. Goes right down, so the seawalls don't provide much protection at all. We now have the War Hulks against fires. There's maybe a few too many fires. But War Hulk and Longboat for TaToH. Lewis has a lot of fires. And now we see the Hulks dominating. You're randomizing the ship angle already? Ah, okay. Yeah, we all know good RMS. And that's a lot of fires. The Hulks are doinking the fires. There are more Hulks now. Hulk versus Hulk. Fires are out. Should longboats counter Hulks? Do longboats counter fires still? Let's see their attacks. They do pierce attack. Fires have lots of pierce armor. 5 pierce armor. Feels like the longboats are getting destroyed here. Lewis going fire plus Hulk seems to be winning, and winning easily. TaToH up by a few vills now. 35, actually 35 to 35. He just has more fishing ships. He's expanding for more docks. And now instead of fires, he's going Hulk plus longboat. So Hulk longboat against fire Hulk. And once again, we're seeing the domination of the Hulk. Oh, you know that's true. Longboat's 1.69 speed. That's nice, but compared to the Hulk, it's not even that fast. Fire's 1.71, and Hulk's 1.65. Gosh, these ships are so speedy compared to what they were in... what they were before. In the current patch. The Hulks run through the gate. One of the bad things about Aquarina, you can't re-wall when your walls go down. I don't think you can repair the walls either. Unless monks could heal them. I think that bug was fixed when monks could heal fish traps. Anyway, longboats here, showering arrows across the walls. That's one thing fires couldn't do. They'd have to destroy the walls first, but that wouldn't look like much of a problem based on how flimsy we've seen the walls. And we're saying the new ships are crazy fast, but the longboats actually now are still slightly faster, and the fire ships are actually faster than the longboats. That was crazy. Fishing ships yearn to build. In the Age of Kings, actually, in the original release, if you placed a foundation with a villager, fishing ships could build it. So over here, we have another TC for TaToH. He'll be moving out to the wood line, taking some wood. Oh, look how quickly those gates go down. Neutral dock? Yes, there are neutral docks with which you can trade, yes. Can you build seawalls? Nope, the map just spawns with them. Map just spawns with them. And ballistics gill nets on the way. This is, yep, this is in the game right now, Atomic. This is in the game right now. You can play it. And Bulk's taking out the fires. TaToH now starting to dominate with the longboats. He has enough longboats now It feels like he's still almost one-shotting everything with longboats. And maybe that's the play now. Get enough longboats and you dominate even against the other ships. And the combo of longboat plus Hulk feels like it's winning against the fires. Hulks themselves should win against the fires, and then longboats should doubly win. And they can be backed up a bit. Both of them attacking. So this is Hulk in front. Longboat in back. New for a few months already. Quasi, the Italians are still a new civ to me. Fishing ship saved by the Hulks? Yes, saved by the Hulks. So, castle on the side. That big single ship, that is just a shipwreck. Just some scenery, if that's what you're asking about. So TaToH, not going to care about the castle. We'll just fall back. When we get to the late game tech tree, let's see what the Mongols have now. They don't have dry docks, so they won't get that final upgrade, and we don't need to look at that as TaToH ties it up right away. Lewis calls the GG despite the castle. TaToH had been expanding about the outside, grabbing some relics. But longboats OP, it would seem. Felt like Lewis had a really nice opening, but I guess the longboats just get amassed and perform a bit too well after a while. GG. Some triremes from the Chronicles. Okay, that's what they are. Triremes from Chronicles. Alright. As it felt like those fire ships did well at the start, but very quickly got overwhelmed. Thank you, SamDog16, for the follow. You're 5 followers away from 14,000. Alright, let's see. Scoreboard time. Scoreboard. That's a win for TaToH. Water maps. Win on Aquarina for TaToH. And for the civs, it's the Vikings over the Mongols. Mongols the last pick for Lewis. And kind of weird to see Mongols on that map, but hope to see Malay harbors. Lewis does have the Malay. See what type of harbors we can see, if any. Right, let's see, next game. There is the lobby. Alright. Still on Aquarina, so I don't have the map picked. So, my thoughts so far are Hulks and unique ships feel OP. Yeah, and just get caught up on some question. Techs are moved around, so then the dock has more space. Some of the old techs like careening and dry dock, along with the new siphons tech for fire ships, improving them, are at the university. At the university rather than the dock, everything from the dock is on one page. No pilgrims in the map pool. Oh, you're right. Pilgrims would be a great map. Get long lines? Oh, for the fishing ships? That didn't happen. You know, the weirdest thing is long lines will probably be for Black Forest fish booms. Right? The fishing ships, if you have aggressive water maps with lots of navy, tends to be falling off after a while, where like your fish die. Maybe on Nomad if one player wins the water. Okay, this is taking a really long time to load in for me. DE is downloading match content. Guns with age 1 fishing upgrades. Okay. Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're loading. Oh, game is over. That's why. Oh gosh, the map is bugged. Hello. It looks like the players have a different map than I saw. Are we supposed to start with a fishing ship? I think they have bigger problems than not starting with a fishing ship. This happened to Daniela too. I think they have bigger problems than not starting with a fishing ship. This is a very good water map. Okay, I think that they're playing a game though. Right. That feels like I didn't get the map transferred properly somehow. They're in-game on Khmer. Let me try loading again. And if not, maybe if I subscribe to a map pack, this would work. It's spending a long time downloading match content. Is my main menu a mod? Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed. It is some version of... There was a mod called Old Main Menu that broke, so someone made a different one that works. But yes, it's the main menu that originally came with DE that is so much better than the menu it has now. Like, yeah, it's so much better. You can get the mods to load. Okay. Looks like we're having an issue too. Maybe we'd have to like open TaToH stream. The new old main menu mod, yes. Okay, so Korean's Japanese on Khmer, but I have my doubts about this. Yeah, okay. Right. Let's is this working for Memb at least? It's not a bug, it's a feature. Someone really doesn't like water maps. That's the new water patch. They're replacing the water with grass. Right. So what do we do this? Let me hold on. Is Memb in game? Memb is not in game either, so it looks like he's probably having the same issue. Let me look if there's a mod in the Discord server. Thalassocracy 2 map pack. I will attempt to subscribe to the map mod. And then I'll restart the game, and potentially then it'll work. Loading screen, loading mods. Loading mods? Do I have to start modding people in the chat if we can't load the mods? Age of Empires website is down as well. This is what happened to Daniela? Okay. Azure is Azure like dead? Is this like a Microsoft issue? Is this beyond the scope of what even Bozzy can magically fix? All right, time to switch to AWS or Google Cloud. That may explain some problems I have at work. Well, watching your Twitch streams to find out problems that you have at work. Make sure to get the Pikmin mod. I need emu trebs, Masty. Okay, so what we will do then is I'm just gonna open up who streamed we want to look at, TaToH's or Lewis's. Or is the same thing happening to Dave? Yeah, Dave's out of game, so I will open up one of their streams. Let's see if either of them is playing right now. Let's see. TaToH has a bit less. Oh, he has a scoreboard. Lewis has the clock in the normal spot. I'll look at Lewis's stream. So we won't have in-game audio, but we will have a stream at least. Let's see, I can do this. I swap my scene around. Maybe this is the right way to do it. We can watch Lewis's point of view, and then we can. Hold on, wait. I got an idea. I will have Lewis's stream open in one tab, and then TaToH's stream open in another, and we can swap between their points of view. That doesn't say full screen though. I can do this. Yeah, okay, we got this, right? We got both points of view. We got Lewis here, and then we can type in his chat. Wait, I can move that over, right? And then if I do this, okay, good enough. There we go. We can swap between their points of view. We're pro stream here. All right, so we got Oh gosh, they're both playing with team colors though, and we're gonna be super confused if we do this. Okay, we'll stick on Lewis's point of view because it's Lewis in blue, TaToH in red. Can't have audio issues if we don't have audio. Yes, I don't think Microsoft would want to migrate to AWS. The migration is a map for a reason. And now you can see the player faces. You're right. You can see how handsome and youthful Lewis is. So, right, Kumir is a map, as I said earlier. You start very close together, and you can Dark Age transport right away. We see Lewis using the Fishboom docks, so you can see behind them more easily. And scouts will be fighting on land, moving around. And TaToH, he is going to be walling his gold mine as Lewis comes in with a drush. So how is TaToH reacting to the drush? Well, let's check out what TaToH is doing. As Lewis sends another Vil, TaToH, he is quick walling. He is making sure he gets his walls down to prevent the drush from coming in. And he will see the men-at-arms coming in on his wood line, and they will be attacking him there. What monitor is TaToH playing on? Is he, like, playing on a second monitor? He's turned to the side. He's also in a very dark room, too. So, oh yeah, he's using another dock mod. He's using the other Fishboom docks. Like the big rock and the fish. So Lewis will be going for the range. TaToH has found that. And TaToH's going to continue trying to wall the men-at-arms out, give himself a bit more room, but his fish are struggling as there's a Hulk on them. He is continuing to quick wall, has to repair, but now we go to Lewis's point of view. Who, I need the players to swap their colors and not play with team colors. Lewis is getting his range up, and he has some Hulks out. TaToH going for a fire to defend. Lewis will, oh gosh, Lewis moving the screen all around. We'll be working on the mining camp. And TaToH He extended those walls by the mining camp so he could make a tower. And now Lewis, with the pressure, doing some damage, he will go back and do a mill. TaToH doing a defensive range on his own island. And Lewis will have to run the men-at-arms away, but there is a hole. There is a hole on the wood line, and Lewis is in. Lewis is in. He's microing on the water, and he'll use his low HP scout to block, but lose the scout. TaToH has to run. He might lose a Vil. Lewis trying to block with a man-at-arms. And ooh, will he get the kill? Yes, gets one Vil. The rest get back to the TC. Oh no. Oh no, indeed. And we'll have a mill. Wait, didn't Lewis do a mill already? Did he delete that? Am I imagining things? He moves so fast. Maybe if we swap to TaToH's point of view, the screen will be less quickly moving. TaToH's a pretty fast player himself, too. So TaToH about to mill himself. He's looking around with the Hulk. The Hulks are so speedy, I guess it makes sense to hunt for fishing ships with the Hulks. You at least get more scouting from that. So Lewis will see TaToH as a transport there. TaToH deleting a house, and now he's housed. TaToH! Oh no, he's slightly housed because he deleted the house. Probably should have just deleted the Palisades. He has to pull back a Hulk. So many things that you need to micro on these maps. He's trying to dance around the Hulk. So interesting bit of micro there. Okay, so we know about fire galleys blocking each other, but here the range is so short, you can kind of use your Hulks to block the other ships and get behind them. Hello, Jafar. And TaToH's going to call the GG. All right, he will call the GG with too much pressure from Lewis in on his woodlines. Okay, so we did not get to spectate the game because apparently Microsoft is down. This is apparently chat's telling me there are big Azure server outages. There's also a snowy map. Lewis, even the young kids getting in on the no snow mods. What's the Hulk? The Hulks have not been nerfed. The Hulks are OP. That's what we've determined so far. Game number 3 and Hulks are still... Yeah, apparently they counter both, Jafar. That's basically what it is in the current balance. They need some work because they counter both. Lewis looking around. I'm hoping that Lewis checks the achievements so we can see the achievements. They were supposed to counter fires. All right, and he doesn't check the achievements. No, Lewis. All right, so we'll go back to our scoreboard then, and hopefully the next game will load. Is Microsoft fixed? Also counter Ultron. Is that like a Transformer reference I don't understand? All right, so Lewis does win. Come here. And what were those civs? Was that Japanese Koreans? That's what it was. Japanese over Koreans. Okay, Lewis checking shoals. He's checking the map. He's seeing there are deep fish there. A Marvel reference. I don't even know these things. Lewis would probably know. Yeah, spectating not working for Dave. Seems to be Azure system issues. We are going to hope that the next game works. We'll see, is the spectator dashboard working? Lewis is checking the maps. This is the good old check the maps between the games setup. So we're 3 games into this play all 5, and we will be continuing to do what we can to spectate, even if we have to watch player point of views. I have to take my nerd card. I think we're nerdy in different ways. Hide picture-in-picture toggle. If I do that on both the streams, okay, there it is. Hulks are also so cheap. Wait, Hulks are just strictly cheaper than Galleys? Oh, what? Hulks are insane. Right. So if we can't spectate, we'll watch that again from their point of views. Would love if TaToH were to pick red and Lewis blue. But Shoals shall be the next map. And they're launching now, and let's see if it works for us. Looks like no, I'm still downloading match content forever. And I think we're going to have the same situation where we get into the game and it'll probably just bug out. So this might be another Lewis TaToH point of view cast. We'll try, but this looks like it's going to break. Also, I'm out of coffee. I need more coffee. So apologies for the broken stream, but this seems to be a bit outside the hands of what I can handle. So yeah, completely broken. Out of sync. Yeah. So we will just watch their point of view streams then. And go back to Lewis. So Lewis will be to the northeast. He will be the Malay. If you want to see harbors, this might be it. Upload the map as a local mod to use temporarily. That might be it. We'll just cast their points of view. To get around it. TaToH, he will be to the southwest as the Italians. So Italians versus Malay. And both of them will be blue as their own point of view. Seems like they're playing team colors. Does TaToH always play team colors in 1v1s? I feel like TaToH usually picks red. Whenever I see him playing, I feel like he's the red color. Lewis blue, TaToH red makes sense to me. But the map is Shoals. There usually aren't rhinos on Shoals. Are there? Maybe there are, and I'm just going crazy. Yeah, actually, oh, there's one rhino. There's one rhino. I thought it was boars for a minute. But I guess it has to be rhinos. Yeah, it would fit the Southeast Asian theme then. Yeah, okay, never mind. It is rhinos. I script so many maps, I start going insane after a while. But TaToH pushing in the deer. Interesting that TaToH is leaving 6 vills on the deer. Usually players would go for 5 on deer, and that lets them move out to the lumber camp a vill earlier. As 5 on deer is basically the same collection speed as 6 on your herdables, your water buffalo here. And let's see what Lewis's build is. How many does he have? Yeah, he has more now because he's hunting the boar. Yeah, but he has the dock up already, right? So Lewis actually has the Malay compared to TaToH. He's a bit faster on the dock. TaToH is just building the dock here. As TaToH looks to bring in his boar. APM is really good. It's possible that the rhinos were added. I was asked to make a second rhino. And 3 to 4 deers on Seychelles too. Okay, now I'm gonna have to check what I did for TTL then. As this is a map that if it were used for like the main TTL instead of the bronze one, I would completely remake it with some of the new map scripting features. But it's been a while since I touched it up. I made a couple of really small changes to it because there were occasionally missing deer. So I think I'll keep this on Lewis's point of view because I think the blue for Lewis, red for TaToH makes sense. And he also has the clock in the standard location at the center of the screen, which is probably a bit better for viewers. Anyway, he is moving around with the scout. And if we need to swap to the point of view of TaToH, we can. Oh yeah, death counter. Did you make the maps for this then? If you did, and you actually happen to have the maps that you could send, that might be great, because then I might be able to spectate if I locally have the maps. That might not work. Maybe it still tries to transfer them. Maybe if I just manually put them in my temp folder, it would work. I don't know exactly where they go. I changed my headphones. Lewis has some nice bright blue headphones. Gotta give him credit for that. So moving out to add a dock. You know what we could do? You know what we could do? We could co-op the players. Check Discord. Okay, I can't check Discord because I'm gonna show Discord if I do that. Hold on. Heavenly Chorus. Maybe swallow events. Up, if someone's unable to download the map pack file, here it is. Okay. Right. Extract all, yes, and I could use this as a local mod. Ooh, okay, we're going somewhere now. Open directory. Add this to my local mods folder. And let's just see if I can spectate then. No, I don't want to run a benchmark game. Heavenly Core is taking care of us. Let's see, this might not work because I think it needs to be in the temp folder. Aesthetically, it needs a shallow river. M said he downloaded it manually and it worked. Everyone else can't get it to work. Map pack in my folder. There are many different locations it could go, though. There are many different locations it could go. I think there's a temp folder where maps get transferred to. I don't think it's directly into the... maybe actually, you know, maybe if I just copy and paste it directly into my random map folder, then. Rather than making it a mod. I might be trying to be too fancy here. Yeah, that didn't work either. Let's just check up on the game real quick as we figure this out. So we got Lewis running around with the Galleys. What is this galley play on the map? We have Galleys. Where are the Hulks? Lewis and TaToH both making Galleys here. Copying it into every folder will result in putting it in the right one. I think players will complain about big Seychelles after we made it smaller in LYC. Yeah, we also made a couple of nice changes to the forests in LYC too. Alright, let's see if we can spectate now. I put it in my random map folder. Oh, there we go. Okay, we got it. We got it, chat. We're good. No, we're not. That still didn't work. Back to Lewis then. So Lewis with a nice score lead, and they're both going Galleys. I might need to restart my game, maybe. I'm also not even seeing my YouTube chat because I have my browser on the other window. And with Galleys, he's hunting down TaToH's Galleys. So this is one of the things that actually makes me, The attempt to allow the fishing ships to garrison in docks was to make water less snowbally. I think it actually makes it more snowbally, because right now, it feels like TaToH's losing water. If at any point he wanted to run around and snipe off fishing ships, he wouldn't be able to do that because the fishing ships can just garrison in the docks. Maybe I need to make it a subscribed mod instead of a local mod. Did I try? I did not try that Heavenly Course. Shall I try that? C users T West. All right. Oh, this is gonna have to be in one of these profiles, a mods folder then. Put it in both. Alright. I'll do Heavenly Chorus's suggestion one more time. Now it's just froze. So Lewis fighting under the docks. TaToH getting in with fires now. So this is the first game we're seeing not full hulks, but galleys come into play. Interesting that this would be because of the... maybe because of the sea tower they can fall back to? But galleys do let you stay outside the range of the sea tower. We're seeing right now how players have been fishing, but the fish are all kind of taken from near where the docks are. And we'll have Lewis going to the outside now. Yeah, and my DE has completely crashed when I've attempted that. So let me stop that real quick. Technical problems almost feel like a bad omen for the water balance patch. Wouldn't that be lovely if we could play AoE 2 without technical problems? So galleys running around. And Scout from TaToH goes down to the TC. TaToH made a classic blunder, he made fires. I mean, that's true. We had Lewis's fire galley opening felt like it was, or fire ship opening rather, felt like it was really strong on Aquarina, but very quickly fell off against the longboats. But yeah, it feels like Galley plus Hulk now is the combo. Hulk's up front, Galley's behind. Does the Hulk feel OP? That seems to be the consensus so far. But definitely open to more balancing. The Lewis with a good score lead. Let's check on what TaToH is doing. So we'll go over to TaToH's point of view. Hold on here, let me click my window. Go over to TaToH's point of view. And yeah, he's trying to sneak behind Lewis. Okay, he maybe has Lewis cornered, but I don't know if he has the numbers. Oh, there you go. He has the upgrades, though. He has the upgrade in to take the fight. Just at the right moment. And there he goes. Everything going down. Another TC up on the side. Go to the page of the event and see the Chinese stream. Oh my gosh, there are too many streams then. I'll try to get the map pack figured out between games then. Does the stream itself have a... Let me check that then. Check on Twitch. Someone managed to get it? Okay, yeah, we can check out that stream too. We can have all the points of view in the world. There's TaToH and this stream. There we go. That's a good suggestion. There. Now it's just like we have an observer. Alright, so Lewis will be on the side then. Oh, they swapped the colors again. So Lewis will be pushing with the Siege Workshop on the side. Looking at the Vil counts then, it's 53 to 62 in favor of Lewis. And it feels like Lewis definitely has the advantage here. The Hulk do not get countered hard by Galleys. From what I've seen, no. Lewis trying to add some, or TaToH trying to add some fires. Feels like fire is still have the advantage of being aggressive on the water at some points. Maybe the best at taking out buildings. And Monk there for Lewis, not going to be found by the scout of TaToH. We'll grab the relic. And Lewis trying to bring back another relic. TaToH there scouting, but not paying attention to the scout. Hopefully he's not auto-scouting. Scouts try to pick Vils. Crocodile continues after the Vils. And Mangonel shot gets a Vil, but takes out 2 scouts. Knight out for TaToH trying to pick off the Mangonels. And with a light cab, we'll get a good initiative in picking them off. Pikeman not out fast enough for Lewis as TaToH takes a score lead. And feels like in the middle, now no one fishing at all. They've kind of traded evenly and are swapping to the outside. Lewis did lose his dock, so it feels like TaToH has the water control. Castle drop now from Lewis going forward, trying to protect the front of his gold and that workshop. We'll see if maybe he can get out Thalassocracy and Harbor Docks. That would be nice at some point. So a huge number of changes in total on the water. But at this point of the game, we're swapping to maybe a race towards Imp between 2 civs who are good at going there, Italians with the discount, and Malay with the faster researching uptime. There's that wonderful Malay castle. As Imp is on the way. And Lewis will be trying to take a Mangonel fight against TaToH, continuing to push. So Imp will be in first for Lewis. No question about that. TaToH's still in the Castle Age, and he's down a bit in villagers already. Score difference will probably change once Lewis gets up, and he gets the score from hitting Imp. TaToH's score also may be a bit inflated from having 1 water. Still has a chance to move to the other gold pile, but hasn't gone out there yet. You do quickly run out of gold by your TCs on this map. As TC on those other 2 gold piles won't last long, especially if it's under pressure. Also makes it kind of awkward to place farms if you're relying on winning the Mangonel War to keep yourself safe. Spectator wanting to click a button to make Lewis win as soon as he hits Imp. As here come the Karambit Warriors. And oh my gosh, the Spectator. Even worse than chat at calling an early GG. There it is. We'll see if their premonition is accurate, or if TaToH's going to keep playing here. Lewis is redocking now, and trying to get back on the water. We'll see if he does heavy warships then. Well, actually, you know what? They're just never mind. They're updating the incorrect score. They didn't update the score from last game. Okay, there we go. Not calling this game. Not calling this game. Okay, they didn't have the right score from last game. Okay, Mangonel's trading shots. Light Cav coming over. And Mangonel hitting the pikemen. Pikemen go down. And Treb comes out and hits the workshop. TC, look at those projectiles. Is that a mod to give TC projectiles more visibility? Yeah, Death Counter. I know the admin posted the map pack, but we have not been able to figure out where to paste the map pack in a place where the game recognizes it. I've still been going out of sync loading in. So Mangonel hitting the Trebs. The Trebs, ooh, 1 HP. That's all you need, but the Mangonel should finish it off, and down it goes. So 2 Trebs down for Lewis. TaToH holding, still managing to hold. He's up to Imp himself. That's a lot of Carracks now on the water. The upgrade from the War Hulk to the Carrack, and these should devastate TaToH's remaining fires. And TaToH won't have much left on the water after that, so water now flipping into the control of Lewis. Laser projectile mod. Gotta go AoE 1 style mirror towers. Phil's going over to the gold on the side. And now Lewis going to camp the sea tower of TaToH and take it out. Remember, this sea tower is buffed. Shoals does improve it a bit, but it should go down. Another castle coming up for Lewis. Knowing game Sambazi, it seems like Azure servers were down, and I got out of sync every time I went into the game, so I just went to another stream, and we're looking at the stream now. Someone posted the map mod, but I pasted it into like 10 different folders, and it still went out of sync. So I'll try to fix that in between games, but for now we're just going to cast this one from the observer point of view. Of the AoE, or the AEIOU Swallow stream. Oh, what are those bombard cannons? Those look fancy. Those look extra fancy. Yeah, Azure being down seems to affect the map script transfer for spectators. And curious to see Lewis didn't actually finish off the dock in the sea tower. Sea tower OP in this map. Stays up despite all those Carracks dealing with it. But now a Cannon Galleon out for Lewis, so he will pull back and be extra safe using the Cannon Galleon. TaToH trying to get some raids in, but maybe a bit too little too late for him. Lost 3 Hulks via the sea tower. Sea tower is buffed on this map. It's actually crazy how buffed it is. Does every civ get a harbor? So the Malay just get harbors, but every civ can garrison fishing ships and shoot a few arrows now. Malay harbors will be much better, and it is still a unique tech, Thalassocracy, to do the harbor docks. Carrack Galleon Fireship feels like Knights Expo and Longboat now. Because Fireship now gets countered by both Galley and Carrack. You're saying the Fireships feel like the longswords now? Yeah, I think my overall impression is I'm not actually sure what the Hulk accomplishes, because we had the Fire Galley as a close-range melee ship, and now the Hulk also is a close-range melee ship, and it doesn't even give us a new role among ships. And whether you're going Galleys and Fires or Galleys and Hulks, it doesn't feel all that different. And at least the demo in the past gave us a third ship that behaved differently than the other two. Now it feels like we kind of have the Galleys and then 2 copies of a very similar designed ship that are fast in melee. And both of which seem to counter the Galleys, but the Hulks just kind of win against the Fires. And the demos, as we saw in the first game, now feel pretty useless. And I think players have adjusted by not making demos since that. So TaToH trying to hold on land despite losing the water now. A slower imp led to Lewis winning the water, and now TaToH doesn't really have a foothold to get back. He's trying to redock, but he's down so much in numbers. That will be hard for him to accomplish. He's got heavy warships on the way. And thinking about doing a condo... Oh, what the heck? TaToH has a vill in the back. How did TaToH get back there? He's got a vill in the back. And we'll be pumping out from a barracks and a range. A Carrack surrounded, but picking off a cannon galleon by the looks there. As Lewis trying to run away. Lewis still with a huge numbers advantage on the water. TaToH trying to push with condottieri against the arbalests. It will be good if they reach the cannons. Time to make Cade multi-cloud. You gotta support Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS. And hope that all three don't go down at the same time. And maybe pick some type of backup architecture too. And hello, Anthony. Hello, hello. So dry dock for the extra Pierce armor there. And we do have incendiaries, so siphoned and incendiaries. We see the second level tech for the fire ships there. And there, the siphon and the fast fire icon are the same, apparently. Not selling beds or air conditioning that stop working when the cloud is down. Oh no, that's scary. Or like cars that stop working if the cloud is down. Or planes that stop working when the cloud is down. Imagine that, like your plane falls out of the sky because Azure is down. No sound because we're watching another stream and there'd be a cast there. This is Microsoft Azure servers are down, leading to lots of problems. And in Age of Empires, everyone who was watching the stream at work is unable to do work because their Azure cloud is down. Planes can't fly without clouds. Clouds are bad for planes in terms of visibility and software, I guess. So TaToH does have a lot of blue dots on the side. There we go. That's another condottieri raid. He is up in vills, 150 to 120. And if TaToH can win this, it's going to have to be by raiding on land at this point. Lewis's the Malay could get Karambits out and probably win the fight with Karambits at some point, but that's maybe a ways away from him. Still has some walls up, but those condo raids are pretty darn effective for TaToH. He's dropping pretty far behind in score, though. Populations 177 to 176 are still pretty even. And your bed starts cooking you because AWS servers are down. I guess that's the solution. Apps these days need to support multiple cloud providers. And can't have a single architecture. TaToH with 156 vills feels like so many. I mean, he's still adding vills, right? He's up to 160 and climbing. In the top left, you can see he's adding more vills. And he's 3k score behind. But as I said, ACCM the other day was 25 score behind and still kept playing. So cannons hitting the castle. Fast fire is popping out. We'll see the text that they have. That's a lot of ARBs. If only there were a demo that could hit all those ARBs. But now that the demo line needs its own upgrade separately from everything else, we saw in the first game how ineffective they were against the Castle Age ships, and I doubt TaToH would invest to demo and then heavy demo for the chance of clearing ARBs when it doesn't give him any other advantage on the water. What is happening lately is probable that most providers are down at the same time. Wouldn't surprise me. So incendiaries. They detonate when sunk. What? That is amazing. It's martyrdom from COD 4. Don't the Jurchens do that? Yeah. Oh, what the heck? That range circle did not match the tech. There was a bit of delay there. That's a bug for Bozzy. Bit of lag in capture age registering the range circle. So if someone actually could tell me where the maps need to get pasted, I'd love to have them for the next game. But I can't really debug that while casting. So TC going down for TaToH, and is just about to hit 4K of a score difference. As Lewis keeps pushing on land, TaToH has a castle in the north, but that's also getting tread from Lewis, so it doesn't look like he's getting any momentum from that push, and he will be forced back over to his own gold pile. Just in your local mod folder. That's what I did, Bozzy, and it didn't work. I'm tempted to say it needs to be in the temp folder. I don't know the file path to the temp folder though in front of me. 15 damage. That actually does sound quite useful. Right, ships do have a lot of HP. They have 100 plus at this point in the game, right? 135 for the Carrack, but 15 if you're destroying like 3 fires, it's 45 damage. Tempted to say temp. Hello, mouse puddles. Yeah, still waiting for Lewis to do harbors for us. He's doing elite cannon galleon. Could be the temp folder now is the wrong version. That could be it. I'll restart the game and hopefully clear the temp folder, and then maybe that'll clear it for the next game. That might have been it. I needed to restart the game in between. So Lewis keeps pushing, and I'm not sure what TaToH's hoping to accomplish at this point. He's now lost the water completely, is forced off of his main base as the bombard cannons continue pushing and flattening buildings. He's going to lose a market soon. And he's got 1,500 gold with 61 vills on gold, and I'm sure he doesn't want to resign at 200 pop, but he's now at the position where as he loses houses, he might not be at 200 pop anymore. He's trying to rebuild houses on the edge of the map. Say we too have a dry dock building in the scenario editor? No. Dry dock is a technology that now has been moved from the deck, or from the dock to the university. It is not his own building. I have one dock. One dock and that's it. And then Malay to have the unique tech to upgrade to harbors. So Condottieri pushing out, and this might stall Lewis's push for a moment, but I fear it's only for a moment. At least in the north, it looks like TaToH didn't lose his castle, so Lewis's Trebs weren't able to finish that off fully. And the castle goes down. Heavy plow on the way for Lewis. And siege towers for TaToH. What is he doing? Pyrotechnia. That's for hand cannoneers with pass-through damage. It's the Scorpion hand cannoneers. He'll be adding an architecture too. He's floating 3k gold. He doesn't want to resign with 3k gold. And I mean, he has closed the score slightly, right? He went from 4k to 3k. Lewis still pushing that castle in the north, but TaToH's been repairing that for a while. Lewis has not been able to take it out. Lewis has 7 relics. And it's hard to lose a game when you have 7 relics. TaToH forced off of more of those golds. He can't drop it off because his mining camps are going down. And Lewis will get a castle up in the south. TaToH now with quite a few bombard cannons himself pushing in the north. Cannon galleons from Lewis controlling the coastline. Bombard cannons, does that apply to bombard cannons or just to the hand cannoneers? I thought it was just hand cannoneers. But bombard cannons with pass-through could be sick. It's proving to be now an hour long on Shoals. And TaToH's still floating all the resources in the world. He's maintained the KD 274 to 273 very close. But now here come the siege towers. Okay, let's go siege towers for TaToH. And he's going to drop the condottieri on top of the arbalests, and some more will be dropped on top of the bombard cannons. Or on top of the bombard cannon. That castle foundation will be deleted from Lewis. Is this the answer for TaToH siege tower condottieri? Seem to have countered the cannon rather well, and now TaToH's pushing in the north. Could TaToH actually do this with siege towers? Remember when he had 160 villas, he's now down to 120. Lewis still with complete water control, but Lewis is getting pushed a bit from his initial base. The golds on the sides are what both players are controlling now. I mean, with all the shallows, maybe condottieri could snipe the cannon galleons. But TaToH's push takes out a castle. And he keeps going. That's good for him. Why did the pros start using siege towers? They got cheaper. And also they got buffed so that monks now need to be adjacent to convert them, like they do for trebuchets and rams. So redemption monks no longer convert siege towers, and that essentially makes them a mobile platform where you can garrison and ungarrison units to break conversions. So they are really strong against monks now. The siege towers essentially are a counter to monks. And with TaToH's push in the north, he has taken out Lewis's monastery, and that's now 2 relics for Lewis instead of 7. TaToH trying to get up another castle, desperately sending more vills. He's pushing in the north. I mean, all the water control for Lewis in the middle could also be taking up pop space that he spent on navy that isn't as useful in the fights. He's not fishing right now, so it's not like it's an economic lead. And res collected in total is only 5,000 more for Lewis. Lewis now have with a slightly better KD. TaToH adding in more TCs. Lewis does have a lot of wood control in the south. That could maybe in the long run win the game, the wood control. When that castle's in range of the water, oh, that is rough. TaToH needed the castle to be back. He doesn't want that in range of the water. He needed that a few tiles back to protect his farms. But at the same time, he is pushing. And now TaToH, if he could do a monastery, could grab 5 relics. I mean, 5 relics for TaToH could change the game completely. Then all of a sudden he has the gold control. Maybe he doesn't have the archers on top of the siege tower. No, it doesn't. Siege towers would be crazy if they were just mobile towers that could shoot arrows. Probably a good thing they don't do that. This is Conquest, yes. This is Conquest. Condottieri taking out the trebs. The castle will stand then. TaToH had to buy stone, and he's going to do a castle a few tiles back to protect it from the water. Arbs will micro down the remaining Condi. And more TCs for TaToH. He did the monastery, and he's going to pick up the relics. He's going to grab the relics. And is TaToH pushing on land faster than Lewis is? Still no harbors. Okay, there we go. TaToH, he's got the monks. Needs to pick up the relics. But Lewis doesn't have the water control to deal with that. Oop, a bit of a buffer in the stream. Also, good thing we haven't gotten any ads yet. Imagine that an ad comes up in the middle of casting. TaToH 135 pop, though. Too many arbs, and now the arbs are getting in on his gold control. He can pick up the relics, but that's not going to make up for having 0 vills on gold at this point. He does not have the defenses there. Imagine that first castle were a few tiles back, and then a second castle were on the golds, both out of range of the water. Then he'd be much more well defended. And there he will call the GG. Lewis will win the show match 3-1, but we will have a 5th game. And TaToH hung on. He held on for a long time. Still, ultimately not enough. If he had maybe pushed a tiny bit faster and gotten the relics, maybe we get a different game. But the eco lead and KD eventual lead for Lewis. A bit too much. Oh, they don't check the achievements. No, check the achievements. All right, anyway, we'll just give a win then for Lewis. That's a win for him on Shoals, and that was Malay over Italians. And sadly, we didn't see any harbors. So Chinese or Portuguese against Celts or Sicilians for immersion, which will be the final map. So let me restart AoE 2, restart Capture Age, and see if maybe, just maybe, restarting the game will allow us to use the mod. I did copy and paste the mod into several different places now. Maybe there's a chance that it works. We'll see. Maybe we'll luck out and it works. Don't see them yet in the next game, so we'll wait for them to get the next map sorted out. Let's see, in a lobby, and it will be immersion selected as the map, and we're gonna hope that this loads. I'll have the backup stream ready just in case it doesn't, though. So what are your thoughts so far on the water, chat? So far, I'm not really seeing much of a difference from what we had before. Just kind of the Hulk replacing the fires and now less demo. And that's something, though, that probably gets addressed with a bit of balance and number tweaking. But I think just overall, the idea of making another melee ship probably isn't the way to go about changing the water gameplay. And in the lobby again for immersion. Demos should now counter hulks so that a comp of fires and demos can be used to come back to water. Maybe they should counter hulks and fires. But then again, you're kind of back to the same water situation you had before, where the demo is the counter. Let's see though, so both in the lobby on immersion, waiting to get started. Let me cap over, check their streams to see where they're at. Yeah, TaToH ready, Lewis is getting ready. And we're gonna pray that map script works. I say a prayer to Lord Doubt. Do you think we need a new long-ranged ship line? Maybe you could have some type of battleship dreadnought line that's expensive and tanky but very slow. I guess maybe the turtle ship already accomplishes that though, and no one ever used it. Okay, we're loading, and I think I'm getting the same bug as I was before, where we're not loading into the thing. So if someone knows where to copy and paste the map scripts, that'd be great. But doesn't look like I can actually get it to load. I've tried restarting everything and I've pasted it into several different folders. Someone actually knows the path to the temp folder, that'd be great. Now, siege ships. Well, any type of siege ship would probably be weak to the existing water triangle, right? And I don't know if that really helps when it's more about water matchups than water versus building. Okay, and I think I'm gonna have a broken map. Oh no, I'm not. We're good. We're good. It just took forever to load. Okay, we are good. We are in. And okay, let's go, chat. We're good. 3-1 Lewis, but we can spectate again. I feel like Q having his powers returned to him. Alright, so we got TaToH here playing as the blue Celts to the west, and Lewis as the red Chinese to the east. DevNote said they wanted to make the demo more specialized, but it's just straight up worse. Also, having to separately upgrade a single-use unit that you only make 1 or 2 of just feels bad. Yes, I think that's exactly what we saw in game number 1. TaToH wanted to make a couple demos in his docks, but then had to upgrade them separately. Maybe you could make the demos even more powerful, but more expensive, so that they're really strong but hard to add in, and you have to be more careful about how you use them. And then you can make them properly counter maybe both fires and hulks. Maybe you could also do something with demos. I suggested this earlier, that you make them available starting in the Castle Age, so you don't need a separate upgrade for them, and you get rid of the demo rafts and just have demo ships like you had back in AOC. Because the Fire Galley line did lose some of its usefulness, where you would fast castle and immediately make fire ships, and you wouldn't need to wait for the War Galley upgrade, or the medium ship upgrade. Now, yeah, you can amass them in feudal, but you're also not getting the Castle Age version out right away, because it's more expensive to do that upgrade first. And you had roles of like going FC fires on Nomad in the past, where you could then win the water against the feudal galleys and snipe fish, which is harder to pull off now. Even though you are amassing them because of that tech limitation. FC Fires is kind of useful in different ways. But maybe making, you know, kind of like the Knight line, where it appears in the Castle Age, and it's a strong unit, but benefits from, but is different than archers, say, because you amass the archers and upgrade them. And you're not going to have the mass, even though it's strong. Unique ships do that, but that's kind of just for a couple of civilizations, right? That's where turtle ships used to do that for the Koreans. I don't know if changes to turtle ships have made them better now, but That was always your early counter to fire ships. You'd do 2 turtle ships, and then you'd be one-shotting all the fires. Some kind of raiding ship would be nice as a fire counter? Maybe. Hulks just need to be not faster than galleys? Maybe that helps. I do think... the other thing I've heard was swap the water triangle. So it's galleys destroy fires, fires destroy hulks, and hulks destroy galleys. And the hulks can be fast and nimble as a boarding ship. But then you don't want to board the ship shooting fire at you. And then fires can be a bit slower. Galleys can counter the fires because of the speed, still, and the range. Oh man, this is so nice, actually getting to cast. And then we have a lumber camp going up here. So we'll shoot the deer. For the Carrick countering the galley. And more houses going up for Lewis. So Lewis is docked the outside, scouting the inside. Both players docking the outside. One of the melee ships should be faster than galleys, the other should be the same or slower, and the slower one counter the faster. Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense, and that's kind of what I was suggesting with the like flipping the triangle. And you get the speeds to match up properly then. And then you're still asking, what do the demos do? Demos at least are fun, right? I think everyone loves seeing demos. Oh, TaToH going forward. So TaToH will attempt to go for a forward dock and then raid the fishing ships. And now the question is, will Lewis see this? Does TaToH know where the dock is? Yes, he sees it right there. Will Lewis see TaToH's dock? Will TaToH make a dock in the right spot? Ooh, okay. Just in the right spot. One tile outside Lewis's line of sight. Lewis cannot see this. Don't include turkeys? Turkeys are only for the South American biome, I think. They don't really fit in the rest of the world, so it does get kind of hard to include them. They were the AOC unit. Well, hulks don't slow their attack target, I believe. If they do, we haven't really seen that. All animals be turkey for Thanksgiving. I wouldn't want to board a ship that's spitting fire at me. I wouldn't either. We could always go like full modification mode and do the Star Trek Armada thing where every ship has crew. And you need to board the ship and get more crew on the ship to take it over. And okay, nice scout. Oh, wait. I'll leave him. The colors are backwards, though. I'm sorry. The colors are backwards. I need Lewis in the blue and TaToH in the red to know what's happening. These are the colors the players should be. TaToH in the red, Lewis in the blue. So Arson on the way for TaToH. As just like game number 1, he's going for men-at-arms on land. And he is not down in res collected to the Chinese. Equalville pops and has hulks that are forward. And he will be taking out the hulk here. More hulks for Lewis. Another hulk for TaToH. And it's just hulks. Whereas in the previous patch we'd see fires, now we see hulks. Units on transport ship can attack. Arson improves infantry damage versus ships. Maybe useful for hybrid maps. One other thing I was thinking of is that maps such as Immersion, these hybrid maps, did not exist back in AOC for AOC water. Baltic and Mediterranean were much larger. But Immersion, Kawasan, Cross, That type of small pond fire galley map that we'd seen so much of in a lot of S-tier tournaments recently did not exist in AOC. Maybe the closest we had was Salt Marsh, but no one played that because it was an awful map. Okay, demo for TaToH. Will this demo do anything? Maybe it kills a Repairville. Transport ship can transport ships. Now that is the idea that gets you hired as a developer. Okay, this is the perfect spot for a demo. It comes out on the wrong side of the dock, though, and what is the heck? Nilly, what's going on? The demo can't go around the dock. Okay, just clears another demo. What was that? It couldn't fit. What was that? Okay, well, they cleared a demo from Lewis, so they traded evenly. But Lewis will end up coming up on top here. TaToH, however, taking more fish opportunities in the middle of the map. A couple of archers coming around for Lewis. TaToH will try to get archers out himself. Fletching will be on the way first for Lewis, but the tower will keep TaToH safe. And on land, I'm just seeing more red dots from TaToH all over the place. Maybe it's not much, but it feels like he at least has more initiative on the land, especially as the Tiger is trying to massacre Lewis's Ville. The Ville has Loom. He'll win this fight. Loomed Ville will win with that giant knife he has. Doing some front stabbing on that Tiger. Down it goes. And there is the dock. Oh, and there's a Hulk. Imagine that were a demo. The archers would be dead. Not even TaToH making demos in demo situations anymore. Padded archer armor on the way for TaToH. He'll have that along with fletching. No armor for Lewis. Archers will come over and hit the Ville, hit the archers. And go for the villager. Yeah, Hulk versus archers. Not sure about that. Huskarl, Archer, and Knight combo. Now that is a combo. No longsword, straight to the unique unit Huskarls. Archer's taking out the skirm up here. Men-at-Arm plus Hulk sounds like you want early forging. That is a good point. That is a good point. Helps both units. The Hulk, of course, if you're just tuning in, does benefit from the forging line of upgrades. I mean, listen to those doinks. Watch the absence of ropes. Oh, looks like they fixed the thing where the edge of the terrain was darker. Maybe that was never broken for water. Is Magcures a water sieve now? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, they would have the extra attack for the Hulks. They don't need the blacksmith. Maybe they are. Bonus for the best ship. No Dark Age eco bonus for them, though, so don't know how quickly they can pump out the Hulks. Doc getting hulked down over here. Base 1 Pierce on Hulk, so they need to be weak to Galleys. Should that be moved down? Maybe they should have 0 Pierce armor? Maybe. Little Langsander. And Castle Age up first for Lewis. He has a stable, a range, and a barrack, so all the buildings can do what he wants. Quick Knight could help clear the feudal army. Maybe he just wants 1 armor. But it'll immediately be a knight. Not too many archers. Skirms might do this themselves. Go for the archers and pull back. Clicking those Celts units just feels so nostalgic from the William Wallace campaign. So over here, a couple of archers from Lewis, they get cleaned up. Kill count's very similar. KD slightly in favor of Lewis. Res collected slightly in favor of Lewis. He's like TaToH, not really able to fish anywhere. One pond in the middle will be the rest of his fish, but Lewis is docking it. So archers against knights on the other side. I'll have elite skirm done and bodkin on the way for TaToH. How's it looking? For me so far, it's fairly uninspiring, I think. Maybe some balance tweaks are needed. I think my main takeaway is that the Hulk feels like they're not making any change at all to water, and it's just like fire galleys are replaced by Hulks as a melee ship. And maybe even less versatile than it was in the past because of the lack of demos now with how weak they are. So TaToH walled, but the palisades will get taken out as the knight and archer comes through. And we'll have a lumber camp up in the back for TaToH. Or no, actually a TC in the back for TaToH, trying to get the TC up in time to stop this army. The knights and skirms keep pouring in. TaToH will need to send a larger village to raise the TC in time. And the knights are through, and oh boy, he needs to rush that up. He's already down by vills, might lose more if it's slow. Vills, okay, it goes up. Not going to lose a vill, not going to lose a vill. Gets just up in time, but loses access to the stone now that the knights are in. He's going to do a 3 TC boom. Lewis already adding in his second TC. We'll have a nice spot on gold. And we'll think about a third TC too, perhaps. If you have lots of fish, then you don't need farms, but it seems like farms are the way to go for TaToH, who doesn't have any fishing ships left. And Lewis here has 5, and they're spread out in different spots, it looks like. Or even are there 3 of them down there? 2 of them over there. So capture age puts me dead in the middle of the map as their average position. Put longboats in the galley slot, assuming the demos were actually usable, of course. I don't know. I mean, I think that all depends on how demos do against Hulks and Fires, so hard to say. I feel like having longboats as a unique ship and still having galleys works for the Vikings. I don't know if there's really a replacement that needs to be made. Unique ships are always something that's hard to balance. In AOC, you never saw them because they required a castle. And now that there are many different unique ships, I think it's a tricky problem for getting water balanced properly. To have a mini longboat in feudal, that could be cute. But I think it's nice to have that fast castle option for them. Have some civs that have a fast castle ship. Yeah, they get short boats. In feudal. So it feels like Lewis now winning the water everywhere on the middle aside from one pond. But he has the dock control over here. And it feels like he's won the outside too. Let's see, TaToH up 62 to 55 vills though. Again, did get those TCs added in earlier. Another TC for Lewis. So maybe overall a stronger eco for TaToH. Res collected still really close. Yeah, that's the thing. Who knows if this beta is what they intended as a final version or something they intended as a test. My first impressions are that it needs a lot more work. Katina be flabbergasted when they have canoes instead of galleys. Oh boy. Now South American DLC would be nice for the Brazil land over the summer, right? Could add some South American maps. Tower taking out the knights. Monk wants a conversion. Monk should probably swap to a higher HP knight to convert. Lewis going to leave one behind the tower, and TaToH will notice it and swap. Will he get the insta? No, he won't. Is Lewis devoted? He's not devoted, he's just lucky. And another pawn, Lewis is winning. Okay, TaToH at least okay on one of the pawns. Still all with the feudal age ships, despite being castled for a while. And we'll have a 4th TC here for TaToH. Alright, University going up for Lewis. Cute longboat raft. Do Vikings ever make galleys? All the time, yes, all the time. Yeah, because currently they can't make fires. The galleys are their only option in feudal. Yeah, the only thing is you never see galleys on maps such as Immersion, and therefore you'd never pick Vikings on this map. We saw a ton of that, like on Sumatra as the cartographers, or you'd see them on Migration. All medium warships is in the dock that's being attacked. Ooh, does this come in? Well, you have to be far apart, and you need to have time to amass enough galleys, and then they win. They win everything once you get them in large numbers. There are like power spikes when you get up to the next stage and can go early fires. Civs like Byzantines could maybe go fast fires in the long run if they get Greek fires and get their upgrades. Some civs like Aztecs, who don't have the best galley line, would go fires, but for the most part, it was in an open water map. You go galleys because they win everything, even against unique ships. Caravels would usually lose to anyone who has fires. Longboats could probably work, but Vikings going longboats is always kind of weird because they can be making the galley line and it's more cost efficient than longboats usually, even though the longboats are usually the stronger ship. Kind of depends what you're fighting. If you're fighting more fires, then having longboats is good. If you're fighting mostly galleys, then you probably go with just the galley line yourself. Skirms deal crazy damage versus hulks? Do they? I guess skirms do pierce damage. Yeah, that would be 4 damage. No attack bonus against them, but just crazy damage, it would seem, because of the pierce attack they have. We need a floating wonder. People want ships that can build. People want walls and bridges. Now we want wonders. Every civ can get a water building. We do need a skirm ship, Bozzy. We have a skirm cav for the Genitor. We need a skirm ship. Well, the medium war hulks now for TaToH. Maybe that'll help him win on land, on the water, because he is getting a nice eco bonus on land, but Lewis is up to imp first. Lewis up to imp first. TaToH about to click. He'll be a couple minutes behind. He's adding in a 5th TC too to the north. So 4 TCs total for Lewis, TaToH adding a 5th. And there he goes up to imp 2 minutes behind Lewis, handcart on the way too. On Age of Pirates, they want to go play Crimson Skies. Had the same lead voice actor as Age of Mythology. So handcart on the way. Heavy plow for Lewis, who is swapping pretty heavily into a farming eco. Longer lasting as the Chinese, but not as good as crop rotation. Castle for TaToH. Lewis looking to push with a forward castle and get a timing advantage on his trebs. He'll be adding in stables behind this for a melee unit against potential Celt siege. And will rely on an absence of pikemen or halbs because of the castle. Catapult ship from Chronicles is needed. Maybe we need the hammer ship from Age of Mythology. Or the Kraken from Age of Mythology. Okay, the Celts definitely with a prettier castle than the Chinese. Look at how pretty this is. Even though the Chinese castle definitely fits the proportions of a castle better than the Celts one does. This one needs to be slightly shorter and slightly chunkier. But Woad Raiders on the way. Rather than Trebs, it'll be Woad Raiders. And quick wall workshops behind the light cap break-in as we get another castle from TaToH. Lewis with the score lead. TaToH still 40 seconds from imp. We'll see what he can do with Woad Raiders. He can maybe pick off Trebs. Lewis, waterproof, Lewis. Has he added Lutron? Hulk, Fire Galley. I don't see him adding one, but yeah, that's true. Adding the catapult ship, the Lutron in the pond, could be good against this castle. TaToH not repairing the castle anymore. He is Imp. Going for a ram road raider push as TaToH looks to get another castle up on the pond, and walls to keep the light cav out. Has to be careful not to over chop in the back. He does have a big opening there. And Lewis, so far, kind of suffocating TaToH on land, taking the wood control as he destroys a castle. Oh, could even take out the blacksmith before plate mail armor comes in. Yeah, we'll go down. Light cav running around in the back as the Vills abandoned the lumber camp. And there's a GG from TaToH, not able to hold anymore. So TaToH survives the death of the Microsoft Azure servers to win a game, but Lewis will be victorious in the show match. He out-hulked TaToH, and that'll be a 4-1 win for him. So 75-36 KD in favor of Lewis that game. Eco is neck and neck until the very end. Why don't I have two numbers here? Worker time. Shouldn't this be like total res collected? What is this ecograph? I don't know what the ecograph is here. These pro features. Surprising me. Oh yeah, we also have APM now. Oh, much higher APM for TaToH early on, but quickly evened out, and then at the end surpassed by Lewis. Because he had more stuff to micro in the end. By Celts, he needed a Civ, I guess. Kind of surprised we saw Celts over Byzantines, but I guess Fire Galleys being as bad as they are meant no Byzantines. Not drafted anywhere for anyone. Alright, let me close down the Twitch streams I had. So that'll be 4-1 for Lewis. Winning immersion. Chinese over Celts. Negative damage versus buildings? I guess versus buildings. And there was negative damage I think was introduced for Royal Heirs. Massing Janitors versus Knights because you thought it's the best range unit, had no idea of the existence of bonus damage. The original Janitor was a militia scenario editor unit. But anyway, I think that'll be it from me today. I guess my final thoughts, we talked about them in that last game. The demos being weaker feels sad. Hulks don't really feel like they add anything new to me, just feels like another melee ship, kind of a copy of the Fire Galley. All in all, it's probably nice to have everything in the dock on one page, but I don't think this really makes water better. I think it just makes it different. And things that are different without a clear purpose, I think, can be maybe a bit alienating in the long run. When you come back to the game and you don't know how it works. And the Hulks and the changed docks will definitely be a big change. Sails are finally animated. The oars on the Chronicle ships are animated. But yeah, so that'll be it for now. Thank you all for watching. Sorry about the Azure issues in the middle, which seems to be what caused it, but at least we got that fixed for the final game. And I'll be back probably tomorrow for casting some TTL, and I'll see you all later. Did people garrison in docks a lot? Didn't really seem to notice that too much, honestly. I was kind of worried that there'd be a situation where someone loses the water and tries to snipe off fishing ships, and then couldn't do it because they garrison, and I think that's still an issue, but we didn't see that too much here. It feels like the Hulk Fire Galley thing was a situation where one player wasn't winning the water too hard, at least in the feudal age. Had kind of a back and forth with transitions as the games went on in a couple of those games, like on that Shoals game. But yeah, still feels pretty similar to old water. I actually don't know what we're really looking for, right? I'd look for maybe something that's a bit more fun to micro than Fire Galleys are, but I don't think the Hulk really gives us that. We saw a couple of things where like the one range could be taken advantage of, where you'll retreat the Hulk around other ships and try to like block and get it away. And maybe we can look out for more stuff like that. Anyway, that's the end of the stream for today. We'll be back for tomorrow for some more Stronghold Frenzy and some TTL.